Hello, and welcome back to the Intuition of Business Growth, Season 4, where we discuss and share the energetics and strategies of multiple 6 and 7 figure businesses. I'm your host and intuitive business consultant, Megan Camille, and it's my pleasure to reintroduce you. She's been with us before, Jennifer Ackad. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Megan, for having me.
Thank you for coming back. For those of you who
Yes.
don't know, Jennifer is a soul embodiment mentor and authentic transformational coach, an international bestseller, co-author. Jennifer has left a successful mechanical engineering career in 2010 to follow her soul's calling and live a life by design. For more than 9 years, she immersed herself thoroughly into yoga therapy and other self-healing schools, diving deep into her own body and self-awareness to discover what she now calls home within. Creatrix of the authentic and soul embodiment living movement and transformation system, she has since then been guiding humans to create space in their body and in their lives in order to awaken the wisdom, truth, and answers they hold inside. Her mentoring and group programs are intimate containers where participants gather to reignite their innate sacred power, ground in their essence, and reconnect to their authentic voice and exquisite soul path. By honoring their deepest desires and highest calling, they shift their lifestyle and activate their playground, manifesting a creative and fiercely aligned life as embodied souls while empowering others. And they become the creator of their life and bloom into their natural gifts. So beautiful. And the reason why I love having you on is because you're such a beautiful example of someone living in awareness and in their really grounded in their spiritual gifts. And you have longevity in business. It has been quite some time since you have been in your own business, leading your own business, and really living a life of sovereignty. You live part-time or maybe full-time now in Costa Rica. So can you
Mhm.
just share what it has been like for you as a spiritual entrepreneur over these years of creating sustainable and long-term success?
Yes. Thanks, Megan. Yes, it's been a journey, okay? And we'll go through the journey in summary, but definitely the key ingredient on this spiritual conscious entrepreneurship is really the ingredient of trust. And we hear about trust and trust and trust. It's not just a concept, it's something that we learn to intimately connect to through our body and through our being. So the ingredient of trusting the inner guidance is really a key here. And that's why I work so much with the body, right? Because it's through the spaciousness of my body that I actually weave with the soul guidance, and then trusting the soul guidance and the intuition that's whispered and that I hear guides me into perpetuating what I call my business. But it's beyond my business. It's actually a calling. And that's where I want to invite people to lean into, is that once we tap into more into of our essence, right, into our natural gifts, like you introduced, right, there is something that we naturally bring to others. So it's first gaining clarity on this, right? What's our nature? When we enter a room, what naturally is brought to people without effort, really? What is our essence giving to others right away? What's the impact that we naturally have on others? And then it's a matter of honoring this 100%. This is what we call the, let's say, the frequency of service, embodying our natural service, and then structuring it, right? Structuring it and putting it in a format that is going to support others. But that, I think I jumped a few steps here explaining, but then the journey from when I quit engineering to, let's say, now, which is 14 years after, I believe, or yes, 14 years after, it's been a journey. Like, this is how I started caring about it. So it didn't go from from dropping engineering to now having, let's say, 6 figures through my business, sustainable 6 figures. It's been leaning into curiosity at each step of the way, getting to know myself deeper, trial and error, daring to fail per se. And we both know that, failure is not really failure. It's just experience and gaining confidence on the path. And having a love story with the path. I keep on sharing about this because we really want to bring this love story into the life that we are creating. We are choosing this path because it's a calling, because we have love for ourselves and love for the gifts we are here to bring, right? For the potency and impact it can bring in people's life, and is also into our life, because we recreate our life playground as we go. So curiosity and love and experiencing, daring to fail, but really getting back up all the time with commitment. These are all key ingredients that I found on my path that I keep applying up until today. Every day I wake up with curiosity in my heart, with love for the path, with courage, a good amount of courage, because sometimes the path is not 100% clear. And we have to drop in and listen to the intuition, listen to the calling, and see, okay, the divine God, if I can use this word here, where are you guiding me? Show me the way. Show me the experiences that I'm meant to be having that are going to grow me into the direction of having more impact. So it's an attitude towards the path rather than, a formula that is objective and that is like super stiff. I think both you and I don't operate like this. So that's what I'm bringing here.
There two things are really standing out to me. One is, that trust in the divine, and through the years, I've really dropped having financial goals, and I used to put my financial goals up on the board, and instead it was divine will or God's will, right? Like, I know that I'll show up and I dare to fail and I dare to succeed. And I trust wholeheartedly that I'm so fully supported. However, it has not always been that way. I've had other businesses where I was in a lot of panic and a lot of fear in those first two businesses. And I was really disconnected from my body. And something that you talk a lot about is that connection to self and connection to body. And I think that there's a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs who don't really understand, one, what that means. I know I didn't. Once I started tuning into my body, I actually realized that I wasn't before. So when I wasn't tuned in on my body, I didn't have the awareness that I wasn't, right? I was just kind of floating outside of my body. And so can you talk about what does it mean to be really connected to our body, and how does that actually support in business?
Yes. Wow. Okay. 100%. So again, it's a path to bring attention inside of our body on a day-to-day business, especially as business owners. We have so much to think about, like, teammates and, managing people, managing money, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but our attention tends, as generally speaking, it tends to be outside. It tends to be scattered, right? The to-do list. So the art of embodiment, and especially when it comes to business, I'll speak into both of these subjects. It's first bringing the attention into the felt sense of our body. What does it mean and how does it feel to be intimate with our body, our physical body? Again, in the spiritual department, we tend to be connected intimately with energy or with spirit. And this is still a little bit outside. Guidance comes from there, but then we need to bridge this in reality. And that's why I insist so much on embodiment, because when we want to accelerate our visions or our wealth in reality, we want to bring all these beautiful divine codes and energy that we feel, the potentiality that we call, we want to activate our physical body with this energy. And to do this, it's the art of bringing our attention, our presence, our quality of presence inside our body, meaning feeling the sensations of the body. In a very short summary, feeling the body, feeling the tissues, feeling how the blood circulates, feeling the bones, okay? And I insist a lot on the bones. Why do I insist so much on the bones? Because the bones represent the core structure of our body. Therefore, the core structure of our life. It represents also, let's say, the masculine of the body. It's the structure. It gives direction. This is the container, where the feminine, which is more the energy flow, the blood, the nervous system, the current circulating in our body, has the safety on earth coming from the bones, to circulate, right? So it's this beautiful inner dance between the masculine and the feminine, which gives this beautiful masculine feminine dance in our life and in our business. So the more we connect to the bones, to the breath of the bones, the density of the bones, the more our business naturally will start having more structure, more safety, more power, embodied, grounded power to it, to the entity of the business, because us as the creator of it, we are embodying it, right? We are acknowledging its reality. Then by connecting to this flow, this pleasure, these subtle sensations of our body, our business is also going to have more flow. I love using the word organic business. At least this is how I propel my business, organically, meaning that through the guidance of the soul, we have the bones of the business that is there, but there's also a lot of flexibility to create and to listen. Oh, this is required now. Let's weave this in the business. Oh, I need to contact this person now, or this prospect client now. Let me reach out now. Why? Because I have the safety in my body, right? I have the confidence that is built inside my bones and on Mother Earth. But then I have the capacity to flow because I'm connected also to this flow inside my body. So it moves fast, and both are super, super required. Where it also super supports business is with enrollment. So with enrollment, when we have a person who's interested in our services in front of us, first, do we embody what we promote, right? Are we in the vibration of what we promote? Are we in the vibration of confidence? And confidence is not of the mind. It's not like, oh, I'm kind of copying this figure that I saw online, and I'm mimicking what they're doing. Absolutely not. We both know this, right? It's not about a persona or something that is per se superficial. It's not about fake it until you make it. It's about authentic embodiment. What service do you already embody? And it goes back to our natural gifts. What are these natural gifts? And show up for enrollment in this frequency of service. The person in front of you or in front of us will feel safe because they will feel that we actually hold an authentic vibration. We are not here to impose anything. We're not here to validate ourselves through the conversation or to prove something to anybody. It has nothing to do with this. Soul business, organic business is about showing up 100% authentic in what you can truly deliver to somebody else. Nothing more, nothing less. And there's a connection that is naturally made when you have somebody who's really sincere with their service, and when somebody is embodied, you feel the power through the vibration of their voice. And that's why embodiment is so important too. It really connects us to our true value that is really at the root of our body, the pelvic floor, the womb space for the women. Our creative codes are there. And the more we tap into this, the more we have access to the deep wisdom, right, in our body, to the deep value again, to the self-love and self-validation that is in our body. And then we trust that what's going to come out of our body is going to be perfect for the person in front of us. That's the trust again. We empty our body vessel and we allow the voice to come out. Again, the bone structure that holds us, the flow that is a feminine. And then being in this making love, let's call it like this. It's like making love with life, making love with the current, and serving, being in service and in love and in truth. And again, in gratitude, we heard these before. And that's what's coming up right now. And yeah, if you want to weave with this.
I love that, especially the way that you're describing when you're safe in your body, enrollment becomes just a way of service. Like, here's what I have to offer. Nothing to defend, nothing to convince. It is simply to be offered in service, and how that really comes from safety in the body. Okay, so can you give us a little bit of clarification, an example of what it feels like to not be embodied? Because again, before I really started working with the body, I didn't know that I wasn't embodied. And so I love how you're talking about there's safety when it comes to enrollment and those sorts of things. But what are some indications that someone is not grounded in their body. They're really not fully embodied. They may have the spiritual knowledge, even the business strategy, but there isn't embodiment.
Yes. Okay. So let's dive a little bit in the symptomatics that I like to call of not being embodied. And let's bridge this to business more specifically. And I did touch slightly on this, but let's go and start with the theme of visions and ideas. You know, as business owners, as creators, as entrepreneurs, have ideas, right? So we have visions of what we want to be creating in our business. And sometimes, especially as spiritual entrepreneurs, we have big visions, right? The potential of something, correct? Then we are not operating from an embodied place. There's a lot of gap between the vision and the reality. And sometimes the vision actually never really grounds itself and manifests. Okay, so it becomes very frustrating because we have visions and ideas and programs that we want to launch. But when we look at our reality, there's so much we can do. And sometimes we don't even launch anything. And it takes time. And we don't understand why it's not working and why we have so many ideas, but nothing is actually happening. Or why is no clients being magnetized to this offer? So all of these are symptoms that the presence is slightly more in the being rather than in the body. It's slightly more, you know, anchored in other timelines and dimensions rather than, hey, come back here. Yes, we can go take the information from, you know, all these other dimensions, from the being, from all these timelines, but we need to come back here in the reality of the body. What's the first step that needs to be done? So that's a symptom, you know, I call it from visions to reality. When we see that the reality is not in coherence to the grandeur or the you know, the big vision, then we're like, okay, let's breathe a little bit deeper. Let's activate our pelvis, which is the representation of our ground in reality. And let's take the first step, breakdowning the vision, right? But addressing the reality of the body in terms of who am I actually becoming to be able to hold this vision, to be able to hold the light potency of this vision. And that's the work of the body. We need to train, we need to create space in the body, we need to practice our body to embody this new person we are becoming, this new embodiment, or else it only stays kind of in dreamland. And we think we are there, but we're not there because our reality doesn't actually change. The bank account doesn't get filled. Our relationships don't grow. We see symptoms like clients still reject us per se, or prospect clients still reject us. We don't raise our prices for our offers. All of these are symptoms that we stay at the same place. We feel the potential, but we're not actually doing the work in reality to build resilience in our nervous system, to hold this, to really hold it, and to really create the tangible change. What other symptoms is there? The symptom of when we are in enrollment that we are not embodied is starting to project our wound or our validation, right? Looking for validation, looking for safety within an enrollment conversation, looking for love, all of these survival mechanisms, we start feeling fidgety, for example, on an enrollment call. And when it comes to really speaking into the price, especially for, you know, high-level tickets, for coaches who have high-level tickets, if it's not really embodied in them, there will be something shaky, really something shaky at the nervous system. And this is what is transmitted in an enrollment call. So the practice of embodiment is actually practicing feeling the number in the body. Really, do we feel the value of this program? Do we feel it really matches the number that we're putting out? Feeling it in our body, practicing receiving this ourselves first before offering it to somebody else. How is our nervous system handling it? Is it capable of receiving this amount of love? It's money, yes, but it's love. At the end of the day, it's light, right? So the symptom would be feeling shaky on an enrollment call and responding to the prospect client out of fear and out of scarcity rather than out of, wow, there's an opportunity here for both of us. And it's here to make us grow. The divine orchestrated this meeting, right? For it to be a fair exchange. And coming from a deep, grounded, safe place, again, the embodiment piece, the pelvic floor, and the true voice, and speaking out loud. So again, another symptom is the shakiness in enrollment. And there's many more: scatteredness in our business day to day. Oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to structure myself. I don't know what's the priority. And there's nothing negative, you know, it's without judgment. We are all on this path. And sometimes I have very messy days where I'm like, I'm in the spiral of creation and I just need to be in there and I need to be in my emotion. And that's perfectly fine, right? But it's how fast can we go back to center? How fast can we realign into our purpose and mission, which is our business or organic soul business? It's this movement of how fast can I go back into the neutrality? And I'm going there instead of getting lost into all the thoughts and the scatteredness that the mind creates. So again, more in the mind rather than in the body, or more in the being rather than in the body. And again, the mind is a tool, the being is a tool, the timelines are tools. But again, let's bring it to the body so that we can accelerate reality. Does it answer the question? Yeah.
Totally answers the question. And you know, you're talking about like, instead of like staying in the dream or the other timelines, coming back here, because for so many big visionaries, they're really satiated by the inspiration of their big vision, and they don't come back into some of the strategic or grounded container parts of the business. So I love how you're mentioning, like, just bring it back in. Yes, absolutely, go and dream and even access and pull information from there, but also come back into the grounded space. And I have two more questions that were here for spurring as I was listening. Is one, you're really talking about like that pelvic floor. How are some of the ways that you support the, you know, clients in your world of grounding into the body? Like what are some ways that you do this? Because I have a feeling that some people, at least this is how I was initially, like, what does my pelvic floor have to do with this? What do you mean my womb? I'm done with babies, right? Like, how do we start actually, what are some tools to really be accessing that part of our body?
Yeah, so there are some tools that I can give. For example, the power of the breath. You need to breathe consciously to bring the subtlety of the inhale and slightly down on the pelvic floor, the lowest part of our trunk, for example, where the lower part of the spine and the pelvic floor is that good, right? So and exhaling and focusing attention there with breath. This is really a simple tool. You can do this laying in bed on the sides, and your hands on the lower part of your belly, underneath the belly. Your body that you're actually bringing love and attention to around the root chakra, the second chakra, which are the two chakras where we disconnect faster in the body. The modality that I use the most is a combination of many different tools, for example, yoga therapy and nonviolent communication, the body part, nonviolent communication means feeling a tissue in the body or an organ and giving a voice to it, for example. It also combines, inner relationship focusing, many different tools, but to stay simple, to give tools here to the audience, it's most easy, the easiest tool, and bringing your hands in local, more focalized places. For example, the sacrum, the pelvis, the iliac bones that are around the pelvis, right? And dropping attention, feeling what is the body communicating through felt sensation to the hands, and how are your hands? Are they relaxed or are they tensed? And sorry, there's a motorcycle coming in the back. But yes, so this is a simple tool. When I guide people in their bodies, we dive for at least an hour, sometimes 2 or 3 hours, to really train the body. Why? What, right? We really train the body to bring the attention inside, because like we said, we have been trained and programmed to have attention out, you know, from very young. So it's relearning how to bring attention in, relearning about intimacy, about genuine connection to the truth of our body. So it's about slowing down, right? Slowing down and being intimate, feeling sensations. So any sensations, another invitation, any sensations that you feel, whether it's a body sensation, an emotional sensation, only like even if you stop a moment and say, oh, wow, I'm feeling this in my body, this is already a start. This is already like, oh, okay, I'm feeling sadness circulating. I'm feeling anger now. I'm feeling heat, you know, in my hands. I'm feeling super cold. Naming the sensation is already going to create a pathway for more attention to be in. Rather than escaping a sensation, we relearn to be intimate with a sensation. And then honestly, this is our bank. This is our currency, because our inner bank and the energy we cultivate inside is going to be our magnetism and is going to attract the structures or the wealth that we want to be attracting. And we often hear this, you know, as within, so without. So whatever we cultivate inside is whatever's outside is going to be a reflection of this. And again, it's not to be perfect. It's just to play. It's to play with our body technology and really enjoy learning. It's our best friend, you know, we are with our body every day. So we better, it's better to learn how to be with it and use its natural functions.
This is so helpful because there's always the option for, you know, that hustle and grind, the being detached from self. Yes, you can find success in that avenue. And what I'm noticing more often is that people want more than just success. They want more than just a great income. They also want to feel safe in their body. They also want to enjoy the process. They want to, like the way that you were describing it when we first started, is like they're making love to the world with their mission, and to be able to live our mission from that space versus I have to do that this way, I gotta like really struggle, is such a gift. And I think you're a really great example of how you brought those two together, of really from the beginning, from when I first knew you and first met you, you were already in this really honoring the flow of how it goes. So thank you for sharing all of that. Will you also take a moment to share with the audience who you work with, how you work with them, and what your complimentary gift is for today?
So everything that we share about today, this is really the basic rules of what I offer, which is the embodiment piece. And mainly for creators, whether you're creating your life or you're transitioning to set up in your life or creating a business, this is a tool that will help you totally shift and really start to, and really create from a place of authenticity. So the embodiment practice that I'm naming is the basic tool. I have membership where people can come and fix monthly with commitments to train their bodies to receive the wisdom of their body, receive the calling of their soul, and bring structure in their tangible life to make it reality. So, and be any human being, as long as the sincere calling is there, there's a place for you, right? And it can be applied in any part of your life. That's the honest truth. And then yes, I can mentor them if depending where they're at. Also, we can do one-on-one significant soul alignment mentoring, and this we just need to communicate. So if you feel the call, you can reach out. And so for this place today, I do have a free gift, which is the embodiment practice. It's a pre-recorded 90-minute video of the embodiment practice that I'm referring to. So you can watch it, do it, reply to the email and let us know what you have gained from the practice, what has it opened for you, what space, but also what new answers and what clarity that you received from the practice from your own body. And we'll keep on believing. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And for the audience, Jennifer's complimentary gift and contact information is below, where you will also find my complimentary gift for you as well. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We'll see you next time on the Intuition of Business Growth. Bye for now.